Let's find a comfortable seat on the mat. Um, Today we're going to focus on being very gentle with our body. It's almost like a restorative yoga. It's going to be super easy and slow and mindful, and we'll try to focus on micro movements. So really like looking at smaller muscles and stretching them and finding that range of motion with those movements. Um, so to begin, let's bring a prayer in front of our heart and then close your eyes gently. Allow your mind and body to find that connection and bring your awareness to the present moment on the mat. If your spine is not straight, just encourage yourself to push yourself up a little bit, sit up and move your shoulders away from your ears, finding that straight spine. Take a deep breath in and an even deeper exhalation through the mouth. This time when you breathe in and breathe out, sink into the mat, let the weight of your body completely fall on the mat. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful. We're going to gently open our eyes and just interlace your fingers and stretch them in front of you and feel that beautiful opening on the backs of your hands and allow the interlacing of the fingers with one another so you feel that stretch in the inside of your palms as well. Breathe in and lift your hands up and look up towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, round your spine and we're going to bring our chin in towards our chest. Breathe in, lift your head up, gentle movements with the back. Breathe out, round your spine, chin in towards the chest. And then as you breathe in, we're going to lift our hands up and then gently release the interlace with your fingers and bring your palms next to your body. And now we're going to lift our right hand up and we're going to bring our left palm down to the mat and stretch towards the left side. Keep that distance between your ear and your left shoulder just to allow for that opening on the side body. Breathe in and then push off from the left palm and let's stretch out towards the right. Close your eyes to feel that opening on the side body. Breathe into this opening and breathe out and come back to the center. And we're going to bring our palms out and just make fists with our palms and roll your wrists in one direction and then roll them in the other. One more time, roll them to one direction and then roll them to the other. Beautiful. Hands to the lap. And now we're going to do some stretches for the neck. So bring your right palm outside of your left cheek and gently, very gently, bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And if you want to feel that stretch on the left side of your neck, you could just close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out, and then opposite side. So we're going to bring our left palm on the right cheek and then feel this opening on the right side. Breathe in, breathe out, And one of my favorite stretches, we're going to bring our right palm behind our head and just look down, just to open up the back of the neck, which can be pretty tense with everything going on. And then lift your head up and use the bottom part of your inner palm to place it under the chin and look up. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your palm to your lap, and we're just going to reset our head. Gentle circles in one direction with the head, and then to the other side. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring our right hand up, keeping the head in the center, and bend our right elbow and bring our left palm on top of the right elbow. Keeping a straight spine, see if you can land that right palm in between your shoulder blades. Just bend towards the left side a little bit to allow for that stretch in the right tricep. Breathe in, breathe out, and then gently release your hands down and the other side now. We're going to lift our left hand up, bend the elbow, and hold the left elbow and gently tilt towards the right side, opening up the left tricep. Breathe in, breathe out. From here, release your hands up towards the ceiling and face your palms to the back and bring them behind your lower back and interlace your fingers behind you. Stretch up towards the ceiling with the hands interlaced behind you. You're going to just bring your head down and your hands go up towards the ceiling as much as possible. Don't push yourself too much. Breathe in, breathe out, and then gently lift your chest up. Come back to the center, and we're going to bring our feet together to touch, opening up the lower body a little bit now. Pulse your knees up and down, and as you hold your legs, keep that like very generous distance between your heels and your body. You're going to lift your chest up and then slowly drop your head down towards your feet. Again, not necessary to go down all the way. We're just starting out, so be gentle with your body and just drop your head down. Take a deep breath in and even a deeper exhalation out through the mouth. And slowly lift your chest up. We're going to bring our hands outside of the knees to close them towards the center. And the feet come to one side, and you're just going to bring your palms to the other side to open up to the back. A very gentle twist, keeping the left shoulder away from your ear if you're on the left side. Breathe in and breathe out. And then just turn over to the other side. Bring your legs to the center and the opposite side, and palms to the opposite side, lifting your chest up towards the back. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, very nice. Now let's find tabletop position. So hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. And really ground yourself with the palms and the knees connected to the floor. And we're going to drop our belly button down, lift our chest up for gentle cow pose. Breathe in, round your spine, chin in towards the chest, cat pose. And really sync your breath with the movement. As you breathe in, look up. As you breathe out, round your spine, look down. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, come back to the center. And we're going to bring our big toes to touch, our knees separate wide open on the mat, and then set your seat back on your heels, bringing the forehead down to the mat for child's pose or balasana. In child's pose today, I encourage you to focus on this beautiful feeling of relaxation and mindfulness, bringing your attention to this line of energy that's going all the way from the top of your head through your back and then down from your feet. So it's almost like keeping you centered. And throughout the practice, we're going to find this center. We're going to try to find balance and centeredness through this line of energy that's going through the center of our body. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift your head up, look between your palms, and we're going to find tabletop again. Now bring your palms forward and lift your knees and hips up, finding Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Really feel the stretch in the lower back, backs of your legs, pushing the mat away with the force of your palms. We're trying to find this um, lift with the hips. And if you feel like you want to have that slight bend in the knees, go for it. You're going to lift your hips up and keep your gaze between your big toes. Now, as you breathe in, come forward to a plank pose, straight line with the spine parallel to the mat, and then bend your elbows, go all the way down very slowly. Tuck your toes, lift your chest up a little bit, baby cobra pose, and then lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Today in downward dog, let's move our feet to one side. So we're going to come on to the outer edge of the left foot and then the inner edge of the right foot, keeping our hips lifted. And then come back to the center and do it on the other side. So you're just going to fall over to the opposite side and then come back to the center and lift your hips up, finding that center with downward facing dog. Now, as you breathe in, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend your knee and bring your right knee in towards your palms and just land it between your palms. Bring your back knee down, untuck your toes, bringing your palms one on top of each other on your knee. Lift your hands up, Anjaneyasana or crescent lunge pose. Breathe in, lift your chest up, and as you breathe out, bring your hands behind you, interlacing the fingers behind your lower back, lifting your chest up a little bit. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring your palms to frame your right foot. And we're going to move into runner's lunge pose. So bring your palms towards your hips, straightening the front leg, dropping your head over the right leg. If possible, flex your front foot to allow for that deep opening in the back of your leg. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring your palms to the center, to the front of the mat. Lift your back leg off the mat, and then bring both palms to the inside of your right foot. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. If you feel like this is too much for you, you can bring your left knee down, not a problem. Lift your chest up, breathe in, and then round your spine, keeping this wide low lunge, which is going to move our body in cat cow. Breathe in, breathe out. And then from here, walk your hands over to the left long edge of the mat, finding that wide legs, and then folding over your body. Beautiful. Breathe in, Breathe out. In wide legs, we're going to move our hands over to the outer edge of the left foot, finding that opening in our IT band on the left side. And then bring your hands to the center and move them over gently to the other side. And then come back to the center. And we're going to walk our hands towards the front of the mat, coming onto the ball of the left foot, bending the right knee, low lunge, and step back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to a plank pose. And then let's find child's pose now. We're just going to bring our seat to our heels, forehead to the mat, finding the center again. As we move through these poses, opening our body, we're also going to find that intention of staying with the flow and the breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and lift your chest up. And let's go to downward facing dog, lifting our hips up. And then we're going to now lift our left leg up. Breathe in, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, bring it all the way forward between your palms. Drop your back knee down first. Untuck your toes. Palms come one at a time on top of your left knee. Find that lift with the chest first, using that force of the palms on the knee. And then with this position in the upper body, lift your hands up for Anjaneyasana. Crescent lunge pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Now as you breathe in, lift your chest up a little more and then breathe out. Bring your palms behind you, interlacing your fingers behind your lower back, looking up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your palms framing your left foot. And then let's go to runner's lunge. So bring your palms towards your hips, straightening the left leg, keeping the hips square towards the front of the mat. Come on to the left heel, pointing the toes to the ceiling. Drop your head down over your left leg. Feel this beautiful stretch that's running on the back of your left leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your palms forward as you bend your left knee. And then bring your left palm inside of your left foot. Untuck your toes, lift your back knee off the mat. If you feel comfortable, you can stay here. Otherwise, you can bring your knee down. Lift your chest up. Sink your hips down a little bit. Breathe in. And then round your spine, lifting your hips up a little bit. So these two movements are working together. Lifting your chest up, sinking your hips down. And then round your spine and move your hips up a little bit. One more time, lift your chest up and round your spine. And from here, we're going to bring our hands over to the right long edge of the mat, finding that wide-legged forward fold on this side now. Drop your head down and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now move your hands over to the outer edge of the left foot, stretching that side muscles of the left leg. And then to the other side, bring your hands over to the outer edge of the right foot, opening up all the way from the right outer hip to the edge of the right foot outside. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your hands to the center and then walk them over to the front of the mat, bending your left knee, coming onto the ball of your right foot. and then step back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're gonna take a slow walk to the top of the mat, folding over our legs. Now, as you breathe in, lift your hands up, high prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to heart, hands by your side, mountain pose or Tadasana. Gentle sun salutations. Bring your attention to the center, and once you find that connection between your mind and body, let's take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Breathe in, lift your hands up. Breathe out, fold over your legs. Step your right foot to the back. Breathe in, low lunge. And then your left foot to the back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank pose. Breathe in. You can go halfway or all the way down as you breathe out. Chaturanga. Breathe in. Lift your chest up, coming to upward facing dog or cobra pose. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees and hips up. Downward facing dog. Right leg goes up as you breathe in. Bring your foot in between your palms. Breathe out. Lift your chest up. Breathe in. Push off from the back foot and bring it forward to meet the right, folding over your legs. Breathe in. Lift your hands up. High prayer. Hands to heart. Hands by your side. Mountain pose. I encourage you to just close your eyes and feel the sensations in your body. Maybe roll your wrists in one direction, roll them in the opposite other direction, bringing those micro movements in mountain pose. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Open your eyes if you have them closed. Take a deep breath in, even deeper exhalation out through the mouth. Lift your hands up, breathe in, Urdhva Hastasana, breathe out, Uttanasana, forward fold. Step your left foot back, bending your knees, slow lunge. And then your right foot back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Come forward to a plank pose, breathe in. Halfway or all the way down, breathe out. Lift your chest up, upward facing dog cobra pose. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Left leg goes up, breathe in, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, bring your foot between your palms. Lift your chest up, breathe in. And then bring your right foot to meet the left in the front, fold over your legs. Bring your arms wide and up, breathe in. Hands to heart, hands by your side, mountain pose or Tadasana. Again, find the center in the body, and when we do these poses on both sides, we allow for this balance to be created between the left and right side of the body. Roll your wrists in one direction again, and then roll them in the opposite direction. Come back to mountain pose, breathe in and breathe out. Now we're going to try to face each other, coming to the center of the mat, and step your feet wide, not like super wide, just a little away from the hips, and turn your left foot so the left toes are pointing to the front of the or the back of the mat as applicable. Bend your left knee and open up your arms, warrior two. Virabhadrasana. In Warrior 2, sink your hips down a little bit, keeping that straight line between your left knee and your left heel, keeping the chest wide, looking over the left fingertips. Now breathe in, straighten the left leg, lift your hands up, flying warrior. And today, as you breathe out, bring your right palm on your right leg. And keeping these straight legs, you're going to just bring your left palm above your head for a gentle opening on the left side. Breathe in. And let's just convert this to a triangle pose. So bring your hands all the way forward, first with your upper body, and then bring your left palm down. Right hand goes up. Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can bring your gaze towards your right palm above your head. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your right palm to your hip. Have a gentle bend in the left knee and then rise up all the way to stand. Beautiful. We're just going to give our legs a little break, so feel free to bring them together. Just drop your heel one at a time. And then once you find this stillness, hands by your side, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, let's find wide legs again. And we're going to bring our hands to hips and turn your right foot to the right side now. Keeping your hips to the center, bend your right knee and make any adjustments with the feet. If you feel like you need a wider stance, you can take that. The outer edge of the left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And then open up your arms, Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2. Again, your chest is lifted, shoulders away from your ears, straight arms, and the gaze is towards a little over the right fingertips. Breathe in, straighten the right leg, lift your arms up, flying warrior. Breathe out, sink into warrior 2. Breathe in, flying warrior. Breathe out, warrior 2. And this time, straighten your front leg, bring your left palm on top of your left leg, and your right palm rises up above your head, feeling that opening on the right side of the body. Breathe in and convert this to triangle pose. So bring your hands all the way forward and bring your right hand down, left hand up for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, left palm comes to the left hip, and then you're just going to rise up to find that center. So both feet are facing the long edge of the mat. Beautiful. Hands behind your lower back. Lift your chest up. Breathe in. And then move your chest forward. Your head comes down as your hands go up behind you. So again, it's like a wide-legged forward fold with the hands interlaced in the back. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, sink your head down even more towards the center of your body. And then bring your hands down to the mat. And using the palms, you're just going to bring your feet slightly closer to each other towards the center. And your toes pointing towards the corner of the mat. And as you breathe in, rise up, bring your hands above your head. And then bend your knees to find goddess pose. So hands to heart. So your toes are pointing to the corners of the mat and your heels are towards the center. And you're just finding this sync with the hips. Breathe in, lift your hands up, breathe out, goddess pose. Breathe in and breathe out. And then from here, we're just going to move from side to side. So straighten, feel free to straighten one leg and then the other. Go at any pace that feels comfortable to you. And then once you find those movements, come back to stillness, lift your hands up, hands to the hips, and the feet come together. Really nice. Okay, some standing balance poses. So we're going to bring our body weight to the left foot, lifting our right leg, coming to Vrikshasana, tree pose. Feel free to take any support on the side if you feel like the balance is a bit tricky today. Bringing the hands to the heart. Lift your hands up, tree pose. Bring your gaze to the front to any point just to keep that focus. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your hands next to your body and your feet down to the mat. And other side now, your weight comes on to the right foot and bend your left knee, bringing the left foot to the inside of your right leg, avoiding the right knee. Hands to heart, lift your hands up, Vrikshasana. Again, the gaze is to a point in front of you as you find this balance. Really nice. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your hands down and we're going to go straight to chair pose. So lift your hands up, sink your hips down and try to keep your knees touching each other. If that feels uncomfortable, you can keep them slightly apart, not a problem. Lift your chest up in chair pose and rise up all the way and hands next to your body. I'm just going to show you today's peak pose, which is diverse pose. So I'm going to turn to this side so you can see better and then we can do it together. So for diverse pose, first we're going to bring our hands up, Urdhva Hastasana, and then we're going to sweep them forward in front of us, bending our knees like we do in chair pose, and then sweep them back behind you and really stretch your hands to the back. And once you find this with the upper body, you're going to try to come on the balls of your feet and see if you can bring your chest down and try to balance. And then once you're ready to come out of the pose, bring your heels down, sweep your hands up, and then hands next to your body. So if you feel like the coming onto the balls of the feet is a bit tricky, you could just keep your feet flat on the mat and do the diverse pose um, with your feet flat. So that's another variation that you can do. So let's do it together now. Lift your hands up, breathe in, and then first we're going to bend our knees and then bring our hands forward and then sweep them to the back. Your fingertips are almost pointing to the ceiling. And then once we find this with the upper body, we're going to try to come to the ball of our feet. Keep your gaze to the mat below your head and see if you can bring your chest closer to the center of your body. Breathe in. When you're ready, bring your heels down and lift your hands up. Really nice. And then hands next to your body. Beautiful. We're going to bring our left foot forward and the right foot stays in the center and pyramid pose. So lift your hands up, catch that imaginary ball and bring it to the front and drop it. And bring your feet, bring your palms framing your left foot and just dropping your head over your left leg. You could have a generous bend in the left knee if you'd like, but really feel that opening in the back of your left leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift your chest up a little bit and then bend your left knee slightly, lifting your hands up, hands to heart, and bring your hands by your side and then bring your right foot to meet the left in the front. Now let's step our left foot back and lift your hands up. Breathe in and then bring that ball down, drop it, and bring your palms to frame your right foot, folding over your right leg, pyramid pose. So make sure that all the toes are pointing to the front of the mat and your hips are square, keeping that centeredness in the body. Breathe in, breathe out. And as you breathe in, bend your right knee a little bit, lift your hands up, and then hands on your hips, and bring your left foot to the front. Now we're just going to bring our right foot behind our left, like crossing the feet almost. And then we're going to try to take a seat from here. Maybe a little tricky, but we're still going to try to. Uh, it's like a curtsy squat and then come down to the mat. And then move your seat to the back a little bit and bring your legs to the front, tapping your knees one at a time. And then bring your hands up, breathe in. Create that opening in the front of the body and then use that space to bring yourself down to your legs for Paschimottanasana. You could keep that generous space between your upper body and your lower body. Or if you feel like you want to go a little deeper, you can bring your forehead down to your knees. Keeping that space helps us get a more restorative sense of the pose. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you breathe in, lift your chest up. And we're going to bend our right knee and cross it over the left. And bend the left knee, bringing the left heel to the outside of the right hip. And hug your hug your right knee with your left arm. And then bring your right palm behind you for a gentle seated twist. So lift your chin away from your chest and then see if you can look over your right shoulder towards the back of your space. Breathe in, breathe out. And then one of my favorite poses, bring your knees on top of each other and hands framing your knees and bring your chin on top of your right knee. Or if you want, you can also bring your forehead down to the knee, still keeping that space between your upper and lower body. Breathe in, breathe out. And then gently lift your head up. And we're going to bring both feet to the front. And this time, bend your left knee, bring it in towards your body, and then left foot goes outside of the right hip, and right heel comes outside of the left hip, wrapping your right arm around your left knee. Turn to the back with the left palm on the mat. Again, chin away from the chest, and turn to the back uh, over the left shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's come to the front and same thing. The knees are on top of each other. And then the palms frame your knees and then you can bring your forehead down to your knees. inviting that space between the upper and the lower body. Breathe in, breathe out, and then gently lift your head up and bring your feet in front of you and move your seat forward and roll onto the back, one vertebrae at a time, finding a supine pose, keeping the knees still facing up. Find yourself with the back of your body planted on the mat and close your eyes to find the centeredness in the supine poses. Breathe in and fill your stomach with your breath and breathe out. Lift your hips up, not too far from the mat, just a very restorative bridge pose. If you want to interlace your fingers under the hips, go for it. And then gently release the hips down to the mat. And today, we're going to bring our knees up a little bit so your shins and your calves are parallel to the mat. And then bring your feet together to touch and see if you can grab a hold of your feet to find a supine butterfly pose. So your knees are wide like in butterfly, and we're just going to open our hips as we have our back on the mat. You don't need to bring your feet super close to the center. It's fine if it's like very, very far. In fact, that space allows us to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. And we're going to release the hold of our feet and close your knees like a book. Lift your feet up, and you can bring your hands just uh, pointing towards your feet to find dead bug pose. And from here, gently bend your knees. Grab a hold of your feet for happy baby pose. And feel free to take any movements before the final resting pose. So stretch one leg, stretch the other. Maybe bring your feet together as you open wide like in butterfly. And then once you're ready, release both feet down and your hands down on the mat. Bringing your body to the mat and relaxing the entire body down. Use the breath to gently relax every part of the body to the mat. So as you breathe in, fill up your stomach, fill up your chest, and take a deep exhalation, encouraging all the muscles in your body to sink into the mat. Relax the top of your head, face, unclench your jaw, relax your eyelids, relax the shoulders, hands, fingers, fingertips, the chest, hips, waist, knees, thighs, calves and shins, both your feet, toes, and the tips of your toes. Relax the neck and every micro muscle in the body that needs relaxation. Take a deep breath in through your nose And as you breathe out, start wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing awareness back to the body. Gently bend your knees one at a time, planting the feet on the mat, and turn to one side for a cozy fetal position. And then plant your palm on the mat as you rise up slowly to find a seated cross-legged position. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands to the heart. Try to bring awareness to how your body feels right now. Bring that intention of feeling centered and carry this feeling of centeredness and calm throughout the day. Fill your heart with gratitude for everything there is and everything that is to come. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat this morning, and I thank you for letting me guide you through this practice. Namaste.